welcome, and thank you to everyone joining us today. My name is Tiffany Taylor, and I have the pleasure of serving as a partner and Chief People and Impact Officer at GSV. Now, if you've been tuning in, you know that I wear a few hats at GSV, but I truly consider it a privilege to lead our Innovator of Color to work. And if you join the GSV community at any point in the last decade, you know that one aspect of that work is honoring innovators of color who have significantly impacted the learning space and embody the spirit of innovation. And one of those leaders is with me today. I have Esther Benjamin, a 2024 Innovator of Color honoree and CEO and Executive Director of World Education Services, joining me today. Esther, congratulations on this award.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm so excited for our conversation. So Esther, you are dynamic in every sense of the word. You are known as a tri-sector global leader. Your journey has led you to the White House, first as a fellow appointed by President Clinton, and then in the Obama administration with the U.S. Peace Corps, then to the United Nations, then to the Brookings Institute, and that doesn't even include the work you steward for B-Lab Global, Echoing Green, and Candid as a member of the board of directors. So when you think about your journey as a global leader, like, when was the moment where you truly had clarity about Esther, the leader?
I don't think it's ever a single moment. I think it's a series of moments. And I think the first moment was probably when I was 13 years old.
Okay.
I was living in Sri Lanka with my family at that time, and a civil war had begun. And my family was fortunate enough to have a path to the United States. And at that moment, I had safety. I faced a situation where we would have freedom and we would have opportunities to pursue education and beyond. And that was a key moment when it was sort of a moment of obligation for me to make sure that I took advantage of everything that life would offer from that point on, and also to give back for the blessing of that moment. And there were many other moments along the journey, Tiffany. The moment when I really decided that my approach ought to be a tri-sector approach to leadership. Another moment when it was clear to me that I wanted to be a global leader rather than focusing on one region. And probably another moment when I saw the connection between all the issues, from education to health and economic development and gender issues and issues of race and democracy and so on. So I took a broad perspective. So I think it's an evolution and a number of moments over time.
I love it. So you talk about a number of moments. You talk about a realization of obligation and responsibility, right? And you talk about this evolution. When you think about the last 20 years, what's been your fuel, right, to drive towards and work towards that obligation and to honor that?
The past 20 years have been just unbelievable. So many blessings, so many opportunities. And over the past 20 years, I really came into my own as a senior leader, having such a variety of roles. And I think the anchor for me is service. And that's what grounds me. That's what I come back to. And rather than ever think about individual success or organizational success, I think about contribution to society. And that is what grounds me, and it's what fuels me as well.
I love it. So we're here because you're being honored as an innovator. When you hear the word innovation, first let's start with you telling me, what does that word mean to Esther? What does that word mean to you?
It is such an overused word sometimes, and I think we have so many perspectives on what this means, but for me it is about harnessing new ideas and new models and new solutions and new technologies, new approaches. it is harnessing the power of all of that
Yes.
and the creativity that comes from it and putting it to use to solve the most pressing challenges of our time.
I love it. And so how does World Education Services drive towards innovation in a way that doesn't simply lead to change, but actually leads to scaled impact?
Yeah, it is a multifaceted approach. As you know, we're a multifaceted social
Yes.
enterprise, and our core service is a business, and it is a global academic credential evaluation service.
Right.
And we serve thousands of people, and we have served millions of people over time. And we have taken that to scale.
Yes.
And the other thing that we have done is to innovate further by moving forward and funding on our own. As a nonprofit. We fund programmatic initiatives, philanthropic initiatives, and policy and advocacy initiatives, all aimed at driving impact for those we serve. And that includes international students, immigrants, and refugees.
Wow. So your scope, right, is broad. When you think about the biggest opportunity, and I know it's probably tough to name one, but what is the biggest opportunity in front of you at World Education Services?
Well, this is a really exciting year for us,
Okay.
Tiffany. We are celebrating 50 years of operating this year.
Yeah.
So exciting, and so many people have contributed to that moment. So 50th anniversary, looking to start the next 50 years. We have this remarkable network of universities and educational institutions around the world. Now our social impact partners, we have about 500 partners we work with directly, and about 2,000 partners we work with indirectly. We also have this trusted brand.
Yes,
So the opportunity is what more,
Yeah.
what now? And we are spending time this year imagining how we can leverage all of that to go to the next 50 years of WES.
I love it. So talk to us a little bit about the shadow side of that question. What's the biggest barrier to innovation in your work at World Education Services?
You know, when I think about challenges, I think about external challenges, which are hard to control, and internal challenges that we have some ability to control.
Yes.
So external challenges, it is a very political environment, and our issues are highly politicized, and populism is certainly going to impact how we think about our work this year and beyond. So those are external challenges that we have to navigate as best as possible. Internal challenges, we've done so much and we've experimented a lot over the last 5 years. The challenge and the opportunity, I suppose, is to make sure that we focus.
Yes.
Focus in on what we do best and how best to go forward. You can do too much, you can do too little, and I think you've got to get it right in terms of the focus and the impact and how you go forward.
Yes. So I shared at the top of our conversation that we are honoring you this year, right, as an innovator of color. Talk to us a little bit about what this award means to you.
It means so much. I'm so humbled and grateful to you and the ASU+GSV team. Deeply, deeply honored. And I take it not as an honor for me, but an honor for the whole team. And, you know, we're never leaders who do things on our own. Nothing is possible without our incredible teams. So this is also, most importantly, a recognition of incredible colleagues that I work with. And it's also just affirmation that we're on the right path, on the right track. And when the days get long and the work is hard, these kinds of moments keep us going.
Love it. What 3 words, if you only had 3 words that you can choose from, what 3 words would you use to describe the importance of not only honoring, but also supporting innovators of color in this work?
Well, This work is hard. An innovator is an innovator, but innovators of color face often more challenges. Yes. We bring our lived experience to the table, which is a blessing, and it gives us insights into the work. But we also face challenges in terms of accessing capital and accessing resources and networks and so on. So the three words I would focus in on are the groundedness of our work. This work is deeply personal because of our lived experience. This work is transformational.
Oh yes, for sure, yes.
And this work is inspiring. Inspiring for us, for our teams, and our partners, and everyone in our ecosystem.
I love that. Personal, transformational, and inspiring, for sure. So as we close, and if you could just take a moment to think about the future, right, and the power of the collective, what's your greatest hope for how we will show up for innovators of color who are currently in the ecosystem and those innovators of color who are coming behind us?
There are so many people doing incredible work. Every December, we bring our partners together and we have an economic inclusion forum. It is an incredibly energizing couple of days. There are amazing people doing incredible work. And I think we've got to keep lifting each other up. We've got to keep connecting. We have to keep collaborating. And that is the power that lies in going forward into the future.
I love it. Lifting, connecting, and collaborating. The perfect way to end our chat. Congratulations again, Esther.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.